Hey guys, in a moment I'm going to be interviewing Igor Buyseech about the topic of networking in the SEO industry. Definitely check it out. A lot of good nuggets to have here. Igor, how are you, man?
Hey man, I'm doing fine. How are
Good.
you?
I'm really good. Nice to see you. For those that don't know who you are already, do you want to just give us a brief rundown on like who you are, what you do in SEO, and maybe the business that you're doing?
Okay, so my name is Igor Buyseech. I come from Ljubljana, Slovenia. I've been doing SEO now for a bit over 10 years. The last 5 or 6 years have been strictly doing clients with my own agency. I run an agency out of Slovenia, but since the Chiang Mai SEO Conference, I've been doing mostly just foreign, like international clients.
Hmm.
So I've been focusing on that. Yeah, before the Chiang Mai conference, I had like 95% Slovenian clients. Now that clientele, revenue-wise, is like 30%. So yeah,
Hey,
we're gonna go into more detail, I guess.
that's a surprise
As,
to me. I didn't know any of that. That's cool. We'll get definitely want to
yeah,
get into that. So,
yep.
and that's exactly why I wanted to talk to you right now is about the subject of networking. Let's rewind back to like I would say October last year. It's before the Chiang Mai SEO conference, and I get a Facebook message from you, and you're like, "Hey, I'm coming out to the conference. I wanted to know if you guys are getting together early, doing any pre-events. I just wanted to hang out." And the reason I liked it and said, "Of course, yeah, come on in," is because you did it in such a non-intrusive way. It was just like you smooth talked us. Not that we're like picky on who we hang out with, but you did it in a really cool way. Then next thing you know, like we're in Bangkok doing a pre-meetup and you're hanging out with one of the boys, you're completely integrated with us. And then the conference is happening a couple days later. I see you're on a podcast, like a big Chiang Mai SEO and digital entrepreneurship podcast called Digital Journey. I was like, okay, he must have met someone here for that thing too. And then ever since the conference, I see you like doing more speaking stuff and also like keeping in contact with all the friends and business partners you met there. So I just want to know like other than simply making friends and like adding to your Facebook friend list, what are some benefits you see in networking, at least in the SEO industry?
Yeah, networking is huge. Like it was the main reason I even went to Chiang Mai. Like people were like when I said I was going to Chiang Mai for a conference, they were like, "You're going halfway around the world for an SEO conference? Don't they have them here in Europe?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the conference is fine, but probably I never went to a business type conference in my life, so let alone an SEO conference. So this was all new to me. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that if 500 SEOs, out of which like at least 50 were my Facebook friends, which I never met in my life, I think I probably met one person, one Slovenian before in a business cooperation, but that's it. I haven't met anyone prior to the conference. So I just said, okay, F it, I'm gonna do it. I bought the ticket on a whim. It was just like, okay, yeah, I didn't plan it. And I said, I'm just gonna network my ass off, but then it exceeded my expectations. Like I went there knowing one person just by name and that's it, and I ended up like actually literally meeting like 100 people saying, "Hi, my name is this and that. What do you do, etc." Had lunch, had breakfast, had coffee, had beers, had whatever. It was like full on. Like I spent 9 days, 7 or 8 days in Chiang Mai, out of which I took 2 hours to do touristy stuff, and that's it. Other than that, I was just like pulled in.
Well, I hope you get to do see a little bit more of Chiang Mai and Thailand this year. But
Yeah.
I think I probably know the answer to this question already. Based on like the benefit you could receive from a conference, what percentage would you say would be attributed to like actually going and listening to the speakers versus the networking itself?
Yeah, at first I thought the speakers would just. I knew all the speakers like prior, not personally, but via their blogs, their Facebook groups, etc. But I because usually on like some sort of webinars, you get the whole rehashed stuff, and you already like heard 95% of it all. But I was actually taking notes. I still have the notes like right here in the reach of my hand from the Meridian that we got,
Oh shit.
and I literally took notes out of each talk and literally had like moments from every talk, and I took away from it at all. At first I was like, white hat, why am I gonna listen to white hat stuff, outreach, yeah, yada yada. Now I'm like full into outreach myself. So yeah, the conference itself, like even before I went there, people are like, you're gonna pay X amount for like 1 day conference. What are you gonna get out of it? What's the ROI? Those are the exact questions I got. What's the ROI of going there? I'm like, what's the ROI of going to Thailand? What the hell?
Okay.
So yeah, I got a lot of knowledge from the conference itself, but as I said, my main focus at first was networking. And this year going back, I'm like, I'm doing that again.
Okay, so in my personal experience, I feel exactly the same. Like, I actually haven't had that much SEO conference experience as I'd like, but the conferences I have been to, each one I can say I took away a major partnership or friendship or connection that's really helped me in my business. Like, for example, local client takeover conference last year in Las Vegas. I met Mark Luckenbaugh and Brian Willey, who are now my partners on the lab. I recently went to a conference in the Philippines called PeepCon, met Cyrus Shepard, former director of Moz, and who knows?
Also,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a really cool guy, by the way. And who knows what benefit that might reap down the road, both ways, right? So, in your experience, what are some example, like maybe partnerships or friendships that you made at conferences or networking that have helped you?
Yeah, I'm. It's like even the people that I met. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even the people that I met, they were like, okay, I met this guy, and he like blew my mind with what you're doing SEO for 1 year now. I've been doing it for 10, and he's like, yeah, I have a 5K client here, 3K client there, because I do just local clients. I did local clients that were like nowhere near to 1K. So yeah, I was just like blown away. People were asking me, how can you do anything for $500, for $300? But it's obviously much cheaper here to run your own PBNs, buy the domains, but still, it was like eye-opening. It wasn't just on the conference. It was like, just like we were having dinner at an Indian restaurant. He was just like saying this and that, and I was like, why am I doing that? I can speak English. I can build PBNs. I can get outreach links. Why not? So I got like tiny nuggets out of. I didn't want to. I wasn't going out there like networking for sucking all the nuggets out of I don't know who, because I saw people going around and just like asking, yeah, tell me everything you know. That's literally a quote. Yeah, let's meet up
Really?
tomorrow and tell me everything you know about. And I want to know how you do this. I was like, okay, um, but yeah, networking like each break on the conference, I met like 3 or 5 different people, and it was just I if you're one of those persons, that's like a bit shy or you have to go through that barrier. I'm not that shy myself, so I like fit in or like chat my way into certain situations. But I would really recommend to other people, if because usually people that are not used to going to network to conferences and to like huge events, it's usually when people network, they're like a bunch of 3 people there, 2 people there, 5 people there, and you always see like a couple of people just standing around. So yeah, those people might be like socially awkward. They can't start a conversation, but you can always like invite that guy. If you see a guy standing like 3 feet away from you, you can just say like hi or like let him join the debate if he's not coming by himself. I saw a lot of that. I have some friends now that I just saw them standing around like at Food for Thought on the pre-events, they were just like standing around like, somebody notice me, please. And I was just like, hey, blah, blah, like we're old buddies from high school.
Yeah, man, and I think that really helps a lot. Like, in for me myself, like I'm an introvert, totally through and through, and if it comes off not that way, it's just because I've trained it or scared it out of me. So like I know exactly where the guy's coming from that's standing alone, that's too shy to step up and stuff like that. So it's really helpful to get this kind of advice on like, how do you start? Like, how do you get into a conversation? I'm going to ask that to you in a second, but just one thing I want to say, first of all, is like, you know what, guys? We're in the SEO industry. And if you feel like an introvert, guess what? 99% of the other people do. Igor is one of those strange people that's, just a talker, right? So no matter what, everyone's just relieved when you talk to him. Everyone is just ready to have a conversation. And the type of the people that go to these kind of conferences are genuinely really nice people. Like it's the people that stay home and troll other people on the internet, which are the ones you want to watch out from, and they're already filtered out. So that's what I can just say. It's not about you. Everyone is in the same boat. So let me turn that back to you, Igor. You already gave some good tips on like how to break the ice, but what are other networking tips you might have, especially related to like, let's say you're in a position where you're a newbie, and here you are, you have a chance to talk to, let's say for example, Gareth Simpson, who is a master at outreach. Like, what do you say to not come across like too pushy and just sound like a leech, but you want to like foster a relationship, or ask a simple question in such a way that you're not bothering him? What would you say?
Yeah, I would always say that like you can't, like people always say give value to someone. I'm like, what am I gonna give value? He's the expert on this and that. If I'm listening to a talk from Garrett Simpson and he's talking about outreach, and I put some notes down. Oh, this would be, what did he mean by this and that? If it's like a legit question, I mean, okay, there's no such thing as a wrong question, but if there's something that you want to get off your mind, so these people are not celebrities. I coined the phrase like SEO celebrities, and before I went there, I was like, yeah, these guys are like the SEO celebrities, and they'll be like hard to get, like real celebrities. And when I met all of you, like the first day in Bangkok, it was just like normal dudes. Usually, like I didn't even realize how old people were. I'm like the senior citizen of SEO now. I'm 35, and when I met, like, yeah, I'm 19, yeah, I'm 21, I'm 20. I was like, Jesus, I was doing SEO when these guys were 9. So, yeah, I probably have some ground on them, but still, just you can literally go up to anyone. Don't be pushy. Don't be value their time. Like these are people. If these are people making like 20, 50K per month, etc., their time. Okay, if they came to the conference, they're obviously not going to charge for anything, but just appreciate if they take 5 minutes out of their way to talk to you or to explain something, and they'll be willing to explain, because if they're the expert and people acknowledge that they're experts, why wouldn't they don't have any secrets. But if you go up to them and say, yeah, hi Garrett, tell me every little dirty secret you know, they're probably gonna blow you off in a nice manner, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Garrett's so nice. Yeah. He would never ever like. I think that even if you said, Garrett, tell me everything you know, he'd be like, where do we start? He's just such a nice guy, right? Cool. So that's really good feedback. Be concise, and it would be a good idea to watch someone's talk and just say like, hey, I had a particular question about this thing that you said. Do you mind asking me? I can't imagine it would take longer than 2 minutes. That kind of thing. That works really good. Also, I just want to point out, like especially at the conference, when the speaker finishes and then he walks off stage, there's a break. If you see, like, if you're the first guy to approach him and ask something, and you see like 5 other people standing in line,
respect their time and your time, and don't let them wait and just like ponder on with like 20 questions. Just stand around and listen to what they have to say. Maybe you'll engage in a debate, and sooner or later, okay, you'll continue the debate outside with the cakes and coffee and whatever we had to eat. So that's how it goes. Yeah. That's how it goes. So that's how you connect to somebody else. Let's go grab coffee, and then two other of his friends come along, and then one of them is going to dinner with this guy, and you can tag along if you want. They usually invite you. So that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And one thing, when a speaker gets off stage, he's so hyped up. Like, no matter what you ask him anything, like, he's still going. Like, he's still on stage. He's still presenting. So he's going to be responsive in that sense. So, but at the same time, like, you know, do give respect to the other people that are, you know, waiting to ask questions, and give respect to the speaker. He's exhausted. So, you know, go easy on him. Some additional things that I might add coming from the introvert's point of view. If you simply just think, okay, like going up to people and introducing myself just sounds completely scary, I get it. And here's some tips that I might say that would be quite useful. For one big thing about Chiang Mai culture is co-working. There's co-working spots all over the city. Some of the favorites we like are Pun Space, and they pop up and they close all the time, but Pun Space is a classic one. And during the daytime, like, we don't have any events going on during the day, try co-working there. You know, you rent a little spot for like $6 or something like that for the whole day. You get high-speed Wi-Fi, and everyone in there is going to be an SEO. If you are afraid to like go and approach someone, just put yourself in there by osmosis. You're just going to have to meet someone no matter what. Like, it's just chock full. I remember like on a Tuesday or something, I'm looking around and I see Holly Stark, Samuel Romaine. I think I saw you there, Igor, David Longacre. I was like, Jesus, look at this. Look at how high level this co-working spot is right now. So that's one option right there, co-working. And the networking events too. So we have these free community events that we put on every year that are kind of open to everyone in Chiang Mai. But this year we follow that up with some networking events. One is at a place called Beer Lab, and one is another place called Japan Village. And if there's anything that can really help grease the wheels, it's liquid courage. So we'll mix a little bit of drinking with the networking experience. And lastly, like, one thing that I saw last year, and if you want to get involved, and I'm definitely not trying to like take away from your relaxing conference experience, but some people like to volunteer. Like, for example, this guy Zachary Loke from Singapore, he helped with the audio video, and you don't have to go to that extent, but like, he's like in the crew now. Like, I went out to Japan and hung out with him for a couple days just because, you know, like, he integrated himself in a very helpful way, and like, we're down with him now. He's homie. And that's a good experience too. Like, we have a big volunteer team. They all work together, they make friendships and stuff like that. So that's an easy way to, you know, get yourself integrated without, you know, like, hey, how's it going? My name's Igor. Yeah. No, just kidding, Igor. Can you think of anything else to add, Igor? Like, do you think it makes sense to perhaps, you know, make some goals regarding networking, like, before the conference?
Yeah, you can make some goals, like, especially if it's really going out of your comfort zone to talk to people. You can set like goals, like, okay, I'm going to talk to 5 people I never met in my life today. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to talk to them. Maybe just say hi or whatever, run away. Mm-hmm. But just try to talk to like 5 people a day. You'll get a chance to talk to 50 or 100. At the conference, it's beyond that. But even on the networking events, just like if you're going there by yourself, even with groups, I found that groups of people usually prefer, maybe if they were like from the same country, or like, I think I saw like 5 or 6 were they from Pakistan or from India, I don't know, sorry, can't tell them apart, but they were just like huddling together, and they were all just by themselves. They didn't like network around. So it could be a plus if you're traveling alone. Don't just stick to one person and then go around with him all the time. Mm. Okay, maybe he knows somebody, but still, if you're by yourself, come to the pre-events. There are like 100 people there. Even when you sit down, You just like talk to the neighbor to the left of you or to the right of you, or do you hear a debate, you just jump in. Nobody's gonna, hey, shush. Nobody asked you.
Never
So
once in the history of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And even look, you always have like two neighbors, unless you're standing in the back, deliberately not wanting to talk to anybody. But why would you go to networking events if you really don't want to like people? But still, yeah, that's a good enough reason. I really encourage everyone to come to the pre-events.
Yeah.
Now, I still can't fathom why 500 people came to the conference and there were just like 100 or 130 people there, or maybe there were more, I don't know. But I was like waiting for the pre-event just as much as I did for the conference. So
Yeah, it was good stuff. Igor, I just want to say thank you for coming on. I got a few good nuggets out of this myself, and we've talked about a lot. We talked about, the benefits of networking at a conference. I mean, I've had great partnerships come out of it, and there's a lot of white labeling that goes on in the industry. People get leads from other people, and this is how you make those connections. This is how you find vendors that will help you grow your business and stuff like that. And this is how you just make some good friendships. So we talked about it a lot, and you gave us some really good tips on like how to break the ice in a cool way, not too intrusive and stuff like that. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in October, November.
yeah, thanks for having me, and we'll see you there.
Take care, brother.